Greetings, wonderful well-beings. What's up? Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Key, and I'm angry. Okay, fucking angry, dude. So, been processing these emotions, and it's a lot, especially anger. And I wanted to talk about it right now, today, on this channel. Anger. All right, like tell a little about my experience, just a little bit. So anger has been something that has always been an issue for me to express. I'm sure, as kids, naturally, as kids, we express all of our emotions normally, until we get to a certain age where it's not okay to express certain emotions. And we get to that point where we're told that it's not okay to express certain emotions, and it's weird, so we don't know what to do with certain emotions, right? Like anger. Okay, so for me, like, anger is something that I've had to bottle up a lot for a long time, and I just always felt very uncomfortable expressing anger, frustration, very uncomfortable, like physically or verbally expressing it, standing up for myself, having boundaries, saying no, and things of that nature. Conflict, because being afraid of like conflict and confrontation, and a lot of us, as children, like, anger is like one of probably the biggest ones that we do have to suppress, because it's told that it's bad or wrong, and when we express it, bad things happen. Okay, makes you want to do bad things when you're angry. It could get out of control. It could turn into rage. It could turn into you hitting somebody. It could turn into you shooting somebody. You crashing into somebody. It could turn into a lot of things. Anger can make you do a lot of things because it's a very impulsive emotion. So I was just like processing my own emotions today, and really realizing that when we're angry, it really expresses like our boundaries. Like, anger is just like a signal to let us know like our boundaries. Like, if something makes you angry, it's there to like make you investigate in yourself. There was this guy, I forgot his name. I just watched his video. I forgot his name, but he was saying RAIN, RAIN, like acronym for R, recognize your anger; A, allow your anger; I, investigate your anger; and N, nurture the inner child that had to suppress that anger. Easier said than done, right? Especially when you're feeling anger in the moment. It's very hard to you just can't stop it sometimes. It's just like I said, it's an impulsive emotion. And so, like I said, for the most part, I've always just suppressed it. Certain relationships, I allow it, and it's not healthy. And I'm talking like romantic relationships. That's all where I always, and I think a lot of us do this. I don't know, but a lot of us find that we can express all of our emotions, and not just romantic relationships, also parent-child relationships. We feel like, as parents especially, we feel like we could express our anger to our children, take our anger out on our children, but yet when that child tries to express their anger back to you, then they're being disrespectful in some type of way. So it's very weird. Think about being a child and your parent is always being dominant, aggressive, assertive, dominant, and expressing their anger towards you. But when you do it, it's like a problem. So it can come off like very confusing to a child, like, what's going on? Like, why when I do it, it's a problem? Like, But anyway, we're adults now, right? Not kids anymore. So we can actually think about these things and, become more emotionally intelligent and like deal with anger in healthier ways. And like I said, for me, the way I've learned to deal with it is just walk away, probably run away, probably just distance myself. honestly, no capitations, no captions, no cap son. Okay. I've learned how to just suppress my anger and distance myself from people. And that's probably why I don't really deal with people like that in general, because of anger. So anger is the emotion that keeps me away from a lot of relationships. Anger is the emotion that keeps me isolated, that keeps me from maintaining close relationships, because I am uncomfortable with my own anger and how it, just learning how to express it. And the times that I have got angry, and there's been just times where I've allowed my anger to go a little too far, and get really abusive, and I don't think it's okay. And I know that anger is a natural emotion. It's like, well, anger is natural, so why not express it? But it comes to a point where, like, it's like, okay, yes, it is a natural human emotion, but we're adults now, and we can learn to express them in healthier ways and talk about it. And also, the saying, treat others how you want to be treated. Okay. So it's like, if you don't want nobody treating you like that, so why are you treating them like that? That's like the quote to live by, honestly, because it's like, as human beings, we know how it feels to be hurt. We know how it feels to be angry. We know all of these emotions. So it's like, just to be able to sympathize and empathize with each other in receiving and giving these certain emotions, especially like anger. Like, I want to give you an example. Like, you have your own business, right? And your work is very important to you. It's like, it's your business, it's your heart, it's your baby, right? And you take it very serious. It's important to you. And then you hire somebody, and they're not taking your business as serious as you are. They're playing, and they just don't have the same love that you have for it, and they're not like taking it serious. So in that makes you feel disrespected, right? And so you get angry at that person without really knowing how to express it. But then that person, by you getting angry, because all emotions are transferable. Most people, if you're angry at a person, they're gonna get angry too, most of the time. Either if they express it or not. Like, some people just suppress it. You're angry, and you send a person anger, they're gonna either lash out at you, and it's gonna turn into a fight or conflict, or they're gonna suppress it. And it depends on what type of person they are. So back to the example, you lash out at a person because they disrespected you. It's a boundary. They crossed your boundary. And then you yell at that employee, that person you hired, and it's like talking about like the work dynamic, and like how, when bosses are very angry and when they're mean, and you like, who wants to work with a boss like that? Nobody, right? So, I think it's important for both people to know how to express their anger, especially if you're a boss and you have to have employees and have to know how to talk to people. Because let's just say, okay, you yell at that person, and now you're transferring anger to that person, and that person might have a boundary where they don't want to be yelled at. Like, now you're crossing their boundary. Now y'all both just crossing each other's boundaries, transferring negative energy, and it's just, now you're both just angry. There's no harmony. There's no way of like, there's no actually like communication about what's really going on, because it's just a lot of anger. And like I said before, for me, I would just walk away. That's normally how I deal with things. Just walk away, But growing and wanting to understand myself and understand my emotions, I'm like, okay, well, how better can I deal with this emotion? Because, like I said, I got so much bottled up rage. Okay, and when you when you allow anger to bottle up, it turns into trauma. It turns into resentment. It turns into rage. It just turns into this bigger thing, and now you're older with all this rage and hurt and pain and anger, and you don't know what to do with it, and you're taking it out on other people. You just start to explode and take it out on other people. It makes you want to do bad things, like I'm saying, especially if you just sit on it and don't allow yourself to express it. It gets to that point where you just want to hit something, want to shoot something, might even want to smack something, and it becomes a very abusive energy. And like I said, you treat others how you want to be treated. Like, do you want to be verbally, physically, mentally, emotionally abused? Like, it's like stepping back and asking ourselves, like, would I treat this person like that? And just really, would I want to be treated like that? And really just like kind of reflecting with yourself, like what's a better way to communicate with this person. And like I said, boundaries, knowing your boundaries. Some people don't know their boundaries. Some people feel like they don't even have no boundaries. They don't know their boundaries. They don't know when they need to like say no and when they need to like stand up for themselves. They just like a lot of people, especially if you're younger and you have suppressed it all your life, you just become passive aggressive and like don't even stand up for yourself. Don't say nothing. And like I said, I get it, because it is confusing, especially if you never learned how to really deal with your anger. You might just explode, and a lot of people just don't want to deal with that, because it already feels like it's going to turn into something bad. If I say something, if I express this anger, it's going up. It's going off, okay? It's going down in here, okay? So, and that's something I've dealt with. Like, it just feels like it's overwhelming. And so like I have a lot of boundaries. And like I said, how you know your boundary is when you get angry. That is a signal. That is communication. That's yourself, your emotions communicating with you, telling you what your boundaries are. And if somebody get upset with you, that's them expressing a boundary to you. But the angry shit, the yelling and shit, like I said, it's not effective, because people just, when you're angry, you can't communicate. Like, both people are seeing red. It's like you start to say things you probably don't mean. It could turn ugly, So I think like just knowing that a boundary has been crossed when you're angry, and finding in yourself, asking yourself, okay, what is this boundary that this person has crossed that's making me angry? What is the boundary that I have? And realizing, okay, this is my boundary. That's why I feel like this. And knowing how to put up your boundaries, knowing how to set your boundaries, and tell people no, tell people this is how I feel when you do this, and I feel like a lot of people don't put up boundary, because a lot of people pleasers. People want to just please everybody, want to look like the good guy, don't want to make anybody upset, don't want to cause any conflict or anything. But sometimes you have to, especially when you become a certain age. You have to stand up for yourself without there being a fight, without you having to punch somebody in the face, and because you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you. So it's like, we're adults and we do have the minds and the capacities to express anger in better ways, Also, like, sometimes you got to do some physical stuff. Like, sometimes, like, I'll be like, all right, rapping for me is one. Like, rapping, like, That's why when I do rap, it's very aggressive, because that's one of my ways of really getting out my anger, and my aggressive nature, like speaking my voice and like making it, projecting my voice is a way for me to get my anger out. Also, like boxing, basketball, any, um, physical activity, stomping, dancing, like punching them punching bags, and yelling, and in places where you can do that, and like just really allowing some space for that anger. And like I said, I've always been a person to step away. I've always been a person for the most part, and like I feel like there's very few people who's ever really seen me express anger, who've seen me mad and yelling and like going off. Very few people, and I met a lot of people, and very few people have actually seen me in a angry, express my anger. Like I said, I feel it all the time. I feel it. It's inside. Okay, it be in there. All right, but I just got really good at suppressing it and not expressing it. But I feel like that is actually, become a positive thing, because I learned how to not be like always like angry and confrontational, but I've learned also how to just be more patient with my anger, and learn how to express it in healthier ways. And like I said, it's not always easy. Like I said, sometimes it is like a very impulsive, and you want to just act on it right then. And that's why I feel like I be having to step away. And it's the thing, like some people, I have an issue with those people, and this is one of my boundaries. I have an issue with those people that when it's like an argument that happens, they want to talk right then and there, especially if like we're both angry and we're arguing. It's like I don't want to argue. I would just like, it is an issue. Like I've always just felt uncomfortable with arguments, because I know that it's not effective. We're not even speaking the same language. So it's like nothing's gonna get through. You're like, oh well, let's talk about it now. Nothing's gonna get through in an angry state. It's just gonna get worse and turn into like this rage. Sometimes it depends on the situation, but like I said, I just feel like it's best for me to be the person to step away and get some space. I have to step away and get some space. I don't want to talk about it then and there, especially if I'm really heated. I don't want to talk about it then and there. And then there's some people who want to talk about it then and there, and then they get mad at another person because they want space. And that's the issue, because that's when boundaries need to be expressed. Like my boundary is that I need some space. I need some time to myself to really just calm down. And if you continue to press me and try to get me to speak right now you're continuing to cross my boundary, and now I'm just getting even more mad. So it's like, but that's why I feel like it's just important to communicate these things. First of all, to know these things, to know yourself, know your emotions, know your boundaries, and then to be able to communicate these things. And hopefully with a mature person who can understand, like, okay, you express your boundaries, and I respect your boundaries. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Everybody want to be respected. Nobody want to be disrespected. So if we can both communicate our boundaries and try not to cross those boundaries, then we can have a respectable relationship, right? But if we don't express our boundaries and then we just being passive aggressive, then eventually the relationship is not going to work out, because one person is always feeling like their boundaries are being crossed. So first it comes communication, then it comes like, can you actually respect this person's boundaries, And time will tell. Some people just naturally probably just can't respect the person's boundaries just based on the person they are. So if you know like somebody in your life and you've told them over and over your boundaries, and you see that they can't do it, they can't respect it, then they don't respect you or your boundaries. So it's like, you just kind of gotta make that decision. Peace out, my brothers. No, I'm playing. And you just got to make that decision. So yeah, but it's all about knowing your boundaries and expressing them. So that's just what I had to say. You know, learning lessons in life, and you know, seeing things and taking full accountability when I have crossed people's boundaries and kept doing it and kept disrespecting the person, and then, you know, feeling it when they do it to me. It's like, oh shit, I can see now how that feels. Okay. So just, you know, but just gotta express it and know it and be able to be mature about it. And like, if that relationship is meant to, you know, go on, then a healthy relationship. Some people like toxic, okay? Some people just like toxic. Some people are 100% okay with being toxic and doing all that. I'm not. So we're not going to do that. Sorry. Because I'm going to cut it off real quick. So I'm trying to be mature about the situations and like learn how to communicate instead of not just run away, you know? But anyway, yeah, that's all I gotta say. I thought this video would be much shorter, but it's not. So anyway, comment what you guys think about this subject. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? You already know, we winning wellness. Put your crowns on and keep your crowns on, because we winning. Peace. Y'all take care. Peace.